Hello everybody, welcome to Career Ride. My name is Shipra Singh and I am back with another very important video. In today's video, we are going to discuss a situation that candidates from every single sector face during the interviews, and I'll share certain ways also to deal with it. The situation is the interviewer asks you a question and you don't know the answer to it. I'm sure all of us have faced this situation, haven't we? What did you do? Did you get nervous and say, I don't know? Or did you try to fool the interviewer with fake confidence and a wrong answer? Let me tell you, neither of these are the right things to do. Nervousness can prevent you from giving your 100%, and trying to fake the confidence may prompt the interviewer to grill you even more. So, what's the right approach in that case? Well, that depends on the type of the question being asked. We'll discuss these types one by one, but before that, here are two important things to keep in mind always as you go for the interview. The first thing is, no one is expected to know everything. This applies to interviews as well. It's normal to encounter a question that you don't know the answer to. And the second important thing is, expect this to happen in your interview. Because even interviewers expect that you may not know the answers to every question. What's more important is being prepared to handle this situation when it arises. Does that make sense to you? Fantastic. Let's move forward now. Now, these questions can fall into the following major categories, and the approach to deal with each of them will be different. The first category can be technical or industry related questions. An example here could be, tell us about the latest developments in the field of XYZ, which could be your domain. First of all, it's always a good idea to go prepared to answer domain specific questions. Not being able to answer the questions from your own domain can shake your confidence, but also raise credibility issues. But let's face this, there's always a possibility that you may not know a particular area of your domain also. For example, if you work in the field of digital marketing, you may not know how to place the Google ads. You may have a superficial idea, but there's a possibility maybe someone else in your team handles that task. So it's not your day-to-day job. In such cases, try saying something like this. I primarily work with the PR side of digital marketing, which includes social media marketing also. Placing ads on Google is managed by other members of my team. However, with my work experience, I do have a good understanding of the basics of Google ads and how it functions. Then go on to share whatever relevant information you know. You can conclude by saying something like, working in this industry for 3 years now, I'm confident I can quickly pick up Google ads also if the role demands. In fact, I would be quite excited to learn this. So you see, this type of an answer can really help you deal with the situation in a very effective manner. Okay, let's move forward. The second category of questions here can be behavioral questions. Behavioral questions aim to assess how you handle specific situations, including your logical thinking ability, interpersonal skills, communication, and problem-solving abilities also. In these cases, what matters more is your approach than the answer itself. For example, the question can be something like, tell us about a time when you had to resolve a conflict between team members. If you have never been in that exact situation, it's perfectly okay to admit it. Being honest is really appreciated in life. You could say something like, I haven't personally managed a conflict between team members till now, but I've seen my manager handle similar situations. If relevant, you can then explain what you observed and how you would apply the similar principles in your case. Alternatively, what you can do is take a brief pause to think. It's perfectly okay to say, please give me a moment to think. After gathering your thoughts, explain how you would handle the situation in a logical, step-by-step manner. Another approach to handle this situation is to draw a parallel to a similar situation, even if it is not identical. For example, you can say something like, while I haven't handled conflict between team members in a professional setting till now, I have managed disagreements in the college project teams. We ensured clear communication, made sure everyone felt heard, and worked towards a mutual resolution. So see, drawing parallels like this demonstrates One, presence of mind, and second, adaptability also. Okay, now the third variety of questions can be hypothetical questions. These questions assess your thinking and strategy in a what if scenario. For example, suppose you were made the CEO of this company. What would be your agenda for the next 100 days? Here, the approach is the key. You could say something like, to set an agenda, I would first want to understand what the company is currently doing, what challenges is it facing, and what opportunities are available. I would spend the initial days understanding the organization from within, gathering input from different teams, and then develop a strategy based on what's most urgent. By showcasing a mature thought process, you're demonstrating how you would approach the real world challenges. So, do you realize there's no right or wrong answer for these questions? What matters is the approach here, and that is what the interviewer is interested in. The next variety here is company specific questions. These questions revolve around the company's culture, goals, and recent performances. An example could be, what do you know about our company's recent projects? Now, company specific questions are also the ones you should always be prepared to answer. Not being able to answer these could make it seem like you haven't done your homework in the first place. If you genuinely don't know the answer, don't try to fake. Instead, admit it gracefully and say, I did research the company before the interview, but it seems I missed out on the details of this particular project. I would love to learn more about it from you if you could share some insights. This approach shows that you are honest and willing to learn, which is much better than trying to guess your way through. And the fifth variety of questions that we have got here is what we call problem solving, brain teasers, or guess estimates questions. These type of questions are getting quite popular with the employers. For example, how many marbles can fit inside a school van? The tricky part here is you can never anticipate all the possible questions here. But the good news is the approach is again what counts here. For questions like this, it's all about thinking aloud. Think the solution aloud and say something like, this is essentially a volume-based problem. If I know the volume of the van and the size of each marble, I could calculate how many would fit into it. Let's assume the van's dimensions are approximately L meters by B meters by H meters, which gives me its volume. A marble has radius of about X centimeter, which can give me its volume. I also need to deduct space that is taken by the seats and other accessories. So you see, without actually calculating the answer, you have demonstrated your logical thinking and problem solving approach. The interviewer isn't looking for a perfect answer here anyway. They are looking at how you break down a complex problem. I always emphasize the importance of approach in all my videos, because once you develop the habit of approaching the questions logically and calmly, it will become your second nature to handle any tough question during the interviews. If you are preparing for your HR interview, you will find these two videos extremely useful. Do take a look. If you found this video useful, do give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends also. For more such videos, subscribe the channel now. I'll be back to you with a new video very soon. Till then, bye-bye and take care.